Well, hello, everybody. This is Dr. Troy Dickwitz here of the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action, and create big-ass results in your life and business. Today's topic is this. I've got bad news for you, sir. There's a crack in your furnace. So this has been the most wonderful. This first week of April has just been an absolutely thrilling week of April. Even the week prior, my youngest, Walker, broke his lower leg, and then we roll into this week where we've had a number of events taking place. If you haven't listened to the podcast previously in the week, go check them out, part 1 and part 2 of the Tale of the Bobcat. And we also, on the same Monday when the Bobcat incident took place, which we had a Bobcat get stuck in our backyard, go check out the podcast. I promise you'll get value from him. But what happened is on that same day, that Monday morning, which is just a couple days ago, we had somebody come out and take a look at our furnace. About 2 weeks ago, our furnace stopped working. And it wasn't that big of a deal because although we're getting down into the 30s at night, during the daytime, we're back up in the 50s, and it's really nice and comfortable. So it just has not been on our priority list. And we finally decided, well, let's go ahead and get this thing checked out. And so the gentleman comes here on Monday morning, and he walks downstairs, and he's taking a look at it, and he gives me this whole, well, there's bad news and there's good news. And then he continues to look and says, no, there's just bad news. The bad news is that there's literally a crack in the furnace. And the problem with that is as long as there's a crack there, it increases the risk of carbon monoxide being spewed into our environment. And obviously, we all know that carbon monoxide, that would not be a very good thing. And so the side effect, just so you know, in case you don't know, the side effect of carbon monoxide poisoning is death. So it's pretty important that we go ahead, and he says, I have to condemn this thing. And he literally shuts it off. And we're sitting there talking about this, and he's telling me all these different options now for units, because now I am in the market for a new furnace and possibly a new air conditioner. And we're having these conversations, and I can't get away from the conversation about the crack. Like, he's talking to me about this new furnace that I need to get, which obviously I didn't wake up on Monday morning thinking I needed a new furnace. And especially since he told my wife, we hear about this all the time, it's going to be an easy fix. And typically it would be an easy fix, but not when there's a crack. And so all I can think of in my head is just like, damn, man, like, this is nuts. This crack in the furnace. Like, it really could have been something bad. And it's something that's so small. So he walks away to go upstairs, and he's going to go sit out in his truck and go ahead and write me up some estimates and come back in and give it to me. And I get down on my knees, and I lift up this little cover to look at it like maybe it was just dirt. Like, I'm having a hard time believe that this was actually a crack. I think the guy's nuts. And so I lift it up, and I lick my finger, and I kind of like rub on it. I'm like, oh, shit, this is a crack. There is literally a crack in our furnace. And so it just got me to thinking, as you know things do for me, I got to thinking about this in terms of our own lives because it's such a small detail. Think about this. It's such a small detail that really we never would have seen had he not taken off the initial cover. And so this thing could have gone on for a long time, causing real problems later on. And it took lifting up this metal piece to see this small, it was probably an inch-long crack. And as I thought about it, obviously, if the crack stays there and gets worse, it's making us more susceptible to carbon monoxide poisoning. And I get to thinking about this just in terms of our own lives. What is it in our lives right now that is slowly, toxically killing us? Like, where in your life right now are you doing habits that are just slowly, it's this small habit. You don't think anything big of it. And yet that small habit is literally destroying your ability to hit the goals that you have in life. Maybe it's in your health, and you don't think it's such, you're working out every day, and you don't think it's such a big deal that you're having a drink every night. Maybe it's in your relationships that maybe you're staying up late and you're like watching movies and you're disconnecting from family, so you're super tired in the morning and you're cranky, and that's toxically affecting your relationships. Maybe it's in your business. You don't think it's a big deal, and so you show up just a few minutes late every single day. I mean, hey, I'm the owner. Or as an employee, you're showing up late and you don't think it's that big of a deal, but it's actually like it's destroying your relationship maybe with your boss or with your coworkers. Like, where is it when you look at your life across body, being, balance, and business, where is it that literally this small detail that you don't think is that big of a deal can actually create major toxicity in your health, in your relationships, in your business? And I want you to take a look at it right now. That thing that we brush off, it's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's no big deal. I mean, it's only 5 minutes. I'm only 5 minutes late. It's not big. I own the business. It's okay for me to be 5 minutes late. Or I can show up 5 minutes late. It's not that big of a deal. Dr. Troy doesn't care if I show up 5 minutes late. Like, where is it that you are doing these things that are, there's these small, it's a small crack in your life that eventually could create so much toxin that it literally destroys your life. It destroys your health. It destroys your relationships. It destroys your business. It destroys your business relationships. It destroys being an employee. Where is it in your life that you have this level of toxicity taking place? And what's one thing you can do about it right now today? What is one decision that you can make followed by an action that you can make today to start to remove the toxicity from your life? So I've got for you here today, folks. Hey, if you haven't already, please head on over to iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher, and make sure you subscribe, rate, and or review this podcast. I'd really appreciate it. Really, I would. And make sure you go ahead and forward this to people you love and appreciate, your friends, your coworkers, your family members. Please, if you think people could benefit from this podcast and the fire I deliver here every week, Monday through Friday, please share with them this podcast. And as always, if you haven't already, head on over to commitandgo.com. You head on over there, you're going to get information about me, yours truly, Dr. Troy Dukowitz, programs I put on, my one-on-one coaching, and you can also get the free Time Mastery program. Just head on over to commitandgo.com. That's all I've got for you here today. I am Dr. Troy Dukowitz. This has been the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action, and create big-ass results in your life and business. We'll hear you next time. Bye-bye.